Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and this is my Week 11 team builder for the PMC. We're going up against Dr. V, coach of the Colorado Rapidash this week, and this is a very, very important match for us. Just to give a little bit of context here, we're both 6-4. I do have a better differential than him, but we're both 6-4. There's 3 wildcard spots that are available. He and I are both occupying one of them. I suppose I'm in third, I have the first seed of the wildcards, which means I'm 3rd overall. He's 4th overall, right behind me. And then in the last spot, the 5th spot, is D-Pad at 5-5, if I'm not mistaken. And then right behind him are Kingdra and Kyle. Kyle beat us last week, 2-0. Very, very timely Thunder Wave against my Tornadoes, which was otherwise destroying his team. So that was a great play by him. He did really well. But in any case, whoever wins this match between Dr. V and me is in. Easy as that. Because they'll be guaranteed to have a better record than whoever can finish in the 5th seed. They'll be 7-5, and pretty much nobody in the last spot, it's either they're going to be 7-5 also, or they're going to be 6-6. There's not going to be any chance that whoever wins this match cannot go in. If we lose, or if whoever loses this match still has a chance to get in, they just have to win the following week. If they lose that match, and say Kyle wins out, D-Pad ends up with a 6-6 record or better, Kingdra ends up 6-6, then it comes down to differential as to who's going to be moving on. I feel fairly good in that case because we have a +9 differential right now, and I think Kyle has like a -10 differential where he's at. So he's going to have to win like 5-0 or better in each of his games, and I'm going to have to lose like 5-0 or worse in each of my games in order to have the sort of swing that would be required. But Pokemon's a funny game. Things can happen really quickly. And looking at Dr. V's team, if things go wrong for us, it's certainly not out of the question that he could hit us up with like a 5-0, 6-0 loss. It's because his team is so threatening versus mine. It's really, really bad. We played earlier in the season, and he came out with a 3-0 victory, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was a 3-0. Pokemon like Weavile are really big threats against my team. Entei is a really big threat against my team. But the Pokemon that really put in the most work against me was Vaporeon. I could not deal with that Vaporeon. It was a problem. So I've tried to prepare a little bit better for that. I have a slightly better Weavile answer than I had before. I have a slightly better Landorus answer than I had before. And I just think overall we are better prepared, but that doesn't mean I'm looking forward to this match anymore. Let's quickly go through his team, and then I'll hop into the squad that I'm bringing. He has Weavile, Landorus, Incarnate, Entei, Vaporeon, Cofagrigus, Blastoise, Espeon, Miltank, Regice, Terrakion, and Rotom Cut. He does have some new mons on his team. The Miltank, the Terrakion, and the Rotom Cut are new. Miltank's kind of annoying to deal with, especially if it's packing something like Thunder Wave. I'm really not going to be looking forward to dealing with that. But I suppose something like Reuniclus can take advantage of it. And I do have Scrafty to try and take it on. Terrakion is, I think, the biggest threat amongst the new additions. If that thing sets up a Rock Polish on me, I'm going to have a really hard time. I'm hoping that it's choiced in some way. Because if it's choiced, like if it's choiced Scarf, for example, then I actually have some defensive checks for it. If it's banded, I don't have great defensive checks, but, or I don't have great defensive switch-ins, but I have things that can check it. I've got 2 Intimidators on my team this week. And Rotom Cut's also kind of a problem. The first round of the team that I prepared is going to have a pretty bad time against Rotom Cut, but I think I'm in a little bit better shape now than I was before. We'll see if that ends up being the case or not. If he brings like Specs Rotom Cut, I'm in trouble. So that goes without saying. His normal threats like Entei are horrifying. Entei is just so hard for me to deal with. Just offensive fire types are not fun for me to face with this team, especially physical ones. We've figured out a way to deal with Volcanion last week, but this is just not the same. It's not going to work out very well for me. Especially because I can even take advantage of Rocky Helmet plus Flare Blitz recoil like I've done in the past in UBC on the advice of Bird. Sacred Fire is not a contact move if I'm not mistaken. So Tentacruel with Rocky Helmet isn't going to whittle it. It's just going to... And I'm not even bringing rocks this week, which really sucks. But I just felt I needed the other mons more. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that he doesn't bring rocks. That'll be really nice for me. And Weavile's just so hard. Weavile comes in and basically revenge kills something basically every time it comes in. It's really, really crappy. I've got to be really careful with what I land kills on. There's nothing I can do though. There's really nothing I can do about it. So anyway, let's go into this team. I've already rambled for 6 minutes. So let's try and speed this up, will ya? So Assault Vest, Electros, Volt Switch, Giga Drain, Hidden Power Ice, Acid Spray. This is the Landorus check. Obviously, we're immune to Earthquake and Earth Power. And if he wants to go for moves like Sludge Wave, Psychic, Dark Pulse, it's not going to do a lot to us. If he's mixed and he has a minus special attack nature, minus special defense nature, we will OHKO him with Hidden Power Ice. If he's max speed, max attack physical, this isn't going to be as good of an answer for that, but we can still take a Rock Slide or Knockoff with ease. I'm not that worried about it. This Pokemon also is going to be kind of useful for dealing with stuff like Vaporeon and Blastoise, as long as we still have our Assault Vest. I decided to go with Giga Drain instead of Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is generally better against this team, I would say, because I don't need the grass coverage would be normally good for a grass type, but I have Hidden Power Ice to hit Landorus, so I don't really need Giga Drain, but I want Giga Drain for the recovery. If I'm sitting in front of a Vaporeon, which I do outspeed with this spread, I can hit it up with an Acid Spray and then follow up with Giga Drain and do a good bit of damage. Or if I just want to straight up kill it, Volt Switch will kill it from -2. And this thing could just Volt Switch freely on his team because Landorus is not really a switch into this. Landorus, unless it's Banded Explosion, is not going to kill me. But of course I would be happy if it was Banded Explosion. That would be amazing because he would just eliminate one of his biggest threats for basically nothing. I would trade this for Landorus every day. But yeah, that's the point of this set. And it can also potentially take one hit from Rotom Cut. We'll have to see. But yeah, Volt Switch is just nice because I can Volt Switch on everything very freely. And the Landorus is not a threat to stop my Volt Switch. Next up we have Offensive Tornadus. This is the exact same set I brought last time if I'm not mistaken. Hurricane, Grass Knot, Knockoff, U-Turn. I almost brought Yachi Berry because to work as a lure for Weavile. I'm still kind of wishing that I was doing that, but the offensive power on this is so important. He does not have a flying resist on his team, and the only thing that outspeeds is the Weavile. Yeah, so I just need to pivot out into my switch in for the Weavile and deal with it bit by bit. Without the rocks, it's going to be really tough to deal with Weavile. I'm really not looking forward to it. But we'll see. We'll do the best we can. We have some solutions. But yeah, Hurricane is just hitting his entire team really hard. Grass Knot hits Pokemon like Terrakion and Blastoise really hard. Grass Knot actually OHKOs Terrakion, which is great. Knockoff, just because Knockoff is also great, and U-turn for momentum. If he's coming in with an Espeon on my Tornadus, I'm clicking Knockoff. He stayed in last time and barely lived my U-turn. But we're just going to do that this time because I don't feel like messing around with that thing. Next up, we've got another same set from last time, or mostly the same. Stradivari, Salamence, Draco Meteor, Hydro Pump, Roost, and Defog. Hydro Pump because it hits a lot of Pokemon really hard, actually. It hits the Landorus. Like, if it's a physical Landorus, Hydro Pump is great. It hits Entei, and it also hits Terrakion, which this thing can sort of check if it's a choice-locked Terrakion, and I know that it's going for a fighting move or something like that. If he does have the Stone Edge, we do have the Shardy Berry just in case, and that also is going to come in handy for like a Stone Edge from an Entei or a Rock Slide from a Landorus. Defog is sort of like a filler move. I don't think he's going to bring... I mean, he could bring hazards. He has more hazard setters than he did the last time. He only had Landorus before, but now he has Terrakion, Landorus, and Miltank, which is really nice for him. But yeah, Draco Meteor we're putting on instead of Dragon Pulse just because I do want to be able to hit relatively hard. And he doesn't have a Dragon switching on his team. I think Draco Meteor, like if it's not Entei, or like if I'm going to be clicking Draco Meteor, even if like in front of stuff like Entei, I think, because he's probably not going to stay in, depending on his set. And Draco, yeah, just hits everything hard. So that's the Salamander set this week. We put a little bit in speed just so we're not outsped or speed tying with Miltank. So that's good. So it's different in a few ways, slightly different EV spread, 12 in speed instead of Spadafin. We put Draco Meteor on. I think we had Dragon Pulse before. Next up is Scrafty, Mr. Cassius Clay. Dream Punch, Knockoff, Ice Punch, and Super Fang. This is a pretty useful set for checking Weavile. That's really this thing's major purpose. We have that Intimidate this week, so that way we can weaken that Weavile. It does so little. Even like a low kick does like maybe 30% to Scrafty, and Dream Punch is obviously an Oko. Unless he's like Chopple Berry. Even if he's Chopple Berry, I don't think it's going to be living. But I could be wrong. I'll have to calc. But if he's Chopple, that's actually great for me because then I have other ways to check it potentially. But yeah, Drain Punch Knockoff. Knockoff is for Kofag and just for general annoyance. And Knockoff's just a great move in general. Ice Punch for like a Lando switch in. I'm not sure if we can take an Earth Power, and we probably can't take a Super Power if he switches in. So we're still probably going to go into our default switch in of Electros in that case. And Super Fang, just because it's going to be nice for weakening Vaporeon or Blastoise or anything else like that. And I didn't really know what else I wanted to put down in this slot. I could have put Taunt or something like that, but I chose to just go with Super Fang. Next up, we have Trevenant. Especially defensive with a little bit of speed, again, to outspeed Vaporeon. Woodhammer, X-Scissor, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split. The Colbur Berry is not necessarily for Weavile. Like, Weavile can just hit me with an Icicle Crash anyway. But it's going to be more useful for, like, Blastoise. And also a knockoff Landorus T. Like, if he wants to go for knockoff, we should be able to hit him up with a Will-O-Wisp. And be very annoying to him. Woodhammer does, like, 65-70% to Vaporeon minimum. X-Scissor is to hit Rotom Cut. This is a very good Rotom Cut switch-in. In fact, it's my best Rotom Cut switch-in. But yeah, I'm going to be bringing this thing in on that and also his water types pretty frequently. And it is kind of an emergency check to Landorus. If he's packing like Dark Pulse, I'm pretty sure Landorus gets Dark Pulse. I keep been saying that over and over. No, it doesn't get it. Okay. So its only Dark move is Knockoff, which is good to know. But again, I have Colbur Berry for that, which is nice. Like, his best move to hit me with is Psychic, which I doubt he's going to bring. He could bring, like, Rock Slide, which would be decent, but... yeah, this thing is just going to be generally annoying. If I come into a scenario where I'm at, like, full HP and the Weavile comes in, like, if I somehow land a kill with this Trevenant, I will stay in. I have a chance to live. Or I should live from full a knockoff. If he goes for Icicle Crash, that's different. I can't really live an Icicle Crash. The Electros could maybe take an Icicle Crash and knockoff combination. I wish I had like Drain Punch on this thing, but I just don't have the room. But yeah, we also have Harvest, just because it'd be really nice to get that Colbur Berry back. And, you know, having Colbur Berry is again nice for those dark moves, but it hurts because we don't have the recovery. We don't have Natural Cure to combo with something like Rest, but we do have Pain Split just so we can make this thing have more longevity, and it can heal up a lot of health on something like Vaporeon, because Vaporeon has a really big HP stat. Then last but not least, we have Calm Mind, Colbur Berry, Reuniclus. Calm Mind recovers Psychic Signal Beam. There's a lot that this Reuniclus can actually set up on. It can set up on Miltank, it can set up on Vaporeon. A like choice locked Terrakion we could potentially set up on. And some other stuff. Kofag we can probably set up on. Even Regice I think we can set up on, and also Espeon. So there's like 6 things that we set up on, which is why we decided to bring this. I wanted to bring Trick Room, but this just seemed better, and it also, like, having this as another potential switch in for something like Terrakion is great, because Terrakion's just such a huge threat, and this checks it better than the offensive Trick Room set. But yeah, this coverage hits its whole team very effectively. Blastoise is kind of a threat to this set, but luckily we do have that Colbur Berry to weaken the Dark Pulse. If we already have like 1 or 2 boosts up, and he goes for it again, and we can get another Calm Mind boost, then we'll be looking really nice. Unless, of course, he gets another crit. But, you know, what are you going to be able to do about that? And, yeah, that's the spread. You know, it's the normal Calm Mind spread. We're hoping it can do the work. So, yeah, that's the team. It's not going to be an easy matchup at all. I really, really, really need to preserve the Scrafty because I have nothing else that can check Weavile on my team, except maybe like you know, an emergency move with Reuniclus. Like Signal Beam probably does, I think, like 70-ish% to a Weavile if it's not boosted. You know, if we do have the Colbur Berry to weaken a potential knockoff. But then Tornadus, Salamence, and Trevenant all get crushed by Weavile. I really wanted to bring Steelix this week, but I just felt like I was too weak to the water types into Rotom Cut to do that. I might end up regretting that, but we'll see. I'm obviously hoping for a win here. If we manage, or if we do lose, as long as it's a close game, it'll be okay, because then we can have a close game with Verd and be jockeying for playoff position. But I'll tell you what, like, Verd's matchup is not good either. Like, my matchup for Verd is not good either, and I don't want to go into playoffs on a 3-game losing streak. I want to go in with a winning streak. That's what I really want, and it needs to start with this game. So I'm gonna battle him in like 2 minutes. Wish me luck, you guys. And if you are excited for this battle, make sure you go check it out. It is going to be posted tomorrow. And make sure you check out Dr. V2, check out his side. I'm sure it's going to be pretty exciting, regardless of who wins. So I'm going to give it my all, and may the best man win. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. 18 minutes. I think that's my longest team builder of the season. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you check back for more gaming and Pokemon content. And until the next time, I will see you all later.